Good night, how everyone doing tonight? God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Irma J, a spiritual divine, and I'm also the creator of the world. And I have a little short news for you tonight. And most of it is like update, but it's surrender around again. So that's why I have to bring it to your attention again. Um, Now, yesterday I had just talked to y'all about the monkey's pot outbreak. So it's surfing again in the news. Um, so I just talked to you about the monkey pot on yesterday, but now growing numbers of states, you know, said they are moving to vaccinate some of their residents against the monkeypox. United States respond to outbreaks that span more than 400 confirmed of suspected cases around the world. So 8 states where they had 13 cases. So now it's surfing through the world, through the world, in into like 8 states already now. So I just talked about that yesterday. But now into like 8 states. So only thing I can tell y'all is now this is another virus. So just be careful. Not it's not only a virus like the COVID, but this virus here, you break out. You break out all over. You know, um, so just be careful because it's already into 8 states already. Already. All I can say is just be careful and keep sanitizer and wipes with you, and just be careful what you touch. So always wear your mask. Especially for travelers and crews. Be extra careful. When you all go out of town or you in town, be careful. So on anything, before you touch anything, remember everybody's touching stuff. When you're on a plane or you on a cruise, you just have to be careful with what you touch. That's what the wipes come in at. Before you open the door, use the wipes. Wipe it down, or use the wipe to open the door and close the door. You have to be careful traveling on the cruise because this virus here, the into 8 states already. And I just talked about this yesterday, and it didn't enter all these states like just said yesterday. So that's fast. How we have cases, then they have cases of through 8 states already. So that's the story on the monkeypox. In the travel through 8 states. So I need everyone to be careful. Make sure you have a mask on, and make sure you have your wipes before you touch anything, and keep your hands sanitized until you get to some water to wash your hands. Because even though you use sanitizer, that's just temporary until you wash your hands. So your one that wash your hand is the main thing. The sanitizer just uh it just go temporary. But the main thing is keeping your hand washed. So that's the story for the new virus that's going around. So the school, the school is coming up with something to help for to help for the next time of anybody else have to experience this, which I hope no one else have to experience this. That's why I had came up after the I spoke on the school 4 days ago. 4 days ago. That's why I came up with gun procedure. Because I agree with um everybody just anybody just having guns, because a lot of people is some people is going through so much. You don't know what state of mind somebody in who have rifles and guns and everything, so now we need to take in consideration of who is carrying guns. So that's why I had came up with procedures. So I give my condolences to all the parents of all the kids that who got killed, and also to the family of the two teachers that got killed. And I give my deepest sympathy, and I'm very sorry that this happened. I spoke on this 4 days ago when it first happened, and my heart still go out. So I understand you all want red flag law to take place. Now, I agree, for the red flag law, so be careful of who we get rifles to, so but we have ERFPO, extremely rich fire alarm protection. So they will get involved too. You know, they deal with the fire alarm. They're the protector for the fire alarm. So we was come up. So I did came up with procedure with the guns, and I will also do it with the fire alarm. So I will look into it, the red flag law. I really do understand. That's why I had came up with my own gun procedures. You know, I boost the age up to 25 years old to purchase a gun. So I'm gonna start looking into the rifles. Because they have to have legal papers. Just the procedures I came with 4 days ago. They have to be 25 years old and they have to have legal papers. And the papers for them to purchase a gun have to have their name on it, and then also the driving license have to match. Nobody can purchase that gun for them, so if they get stopped and saying their mom or somebody that brought it. No, their name has to be on the papers and have to match their driving license. And so for the red flag law, I will start reading and looking into it. Because I agree on taking the fire along rifles and all that from certain people. I will come up with an age also, with guns and rifles. You know, um, some kind of procedures have to be done. So I came up with the procedures with the guns. So I have to look into the rifles, fire alarm. And you also, like I said, you have ERFPO. They extremely rich fire alarm protection order. So they will step in too, because they deal with that too. So I will look more into it, because um all this killing, all this crime really have to stop. So I will have to keep on creating um procedures, because I also had came up with procedures of safety for the school before that happened, like weeks before that happened. I came up with procedures for um unarmed security inside the school and armed security outside of the school. So you have one outside, they'll make sure no one come in. They have to see anyone, the security guard provide the information and see if they leave, able to go inside the school. They keep no one from going inside the school. Because I will keep on trying to curate to find something safety for these kids in the school. And that was the two things I came up with, having security inside the school and outside of the school. That way they will have to get by the security before even enter the school. So we need to look into these procedures and try to follow them. And I will also look in the red flag law, and I will come up with something, create something with that, to have the rifles taken away from certain people, that may have a different mindset or emotional, harm to themselves and to others. They don't need to carry no gun. So I will look into that. But in the meantime, I did make create procedures for the handguns, and also talk about this new virus already into 8 states. So everyone needs to be careful. Wear your mask. Sanitize your hand all day until you get to some water to wash your hands. So it's very important to wash your hands. Soon I come home. That's the first thing I do, wash my hands. if you not buy no water. If you not buy water or somewhere to keep washing your hands, use the sanitizer until you get to some water to wash your hands. Because washing your hands is very important, getting all the germs and everything off your hands. So that's all the show news I have for you on tonight. Taking consideration on just being careful when you're traveling and catching the cruise. Make sure you mask up and make sure you sanitize, keep your hand washed, and have wipes to wipe down anything you may think you're gonna touch. Because we just were trying to get trying to get with this COVID. So now we got another virus, that's just spreading all over the state now. So we have to be careful, and I'm gonna keep on creating to keep these kids safe. And I just need all schools to try to follow these procedures. I need all the stores to follow these procedures, not sell no guns to no one that's under 25 years old. And that for all the stores and all the pawn shops. You know what I'm saying? No guns to nobody under 25 years old. And I will be looking into with the rifles. And I will get back with y'all as soon as possible with the procedures with the rifles. So that's all the news I have for you today. And I will see y'all on the next video. Good night.